Hello everyone and welcome back. This video is titled Seal Kept Poking Diver's Arm, Finally, He Realizes. Here we go. Shawn was left dumbfounded by their behavior. He had over 200 dives under his belt but had never experienced something like this before. More seals flocked around him. In a matter of seconds, he was surrounded. The pup that had started the frenzy was lost in the chaos now. Shawn's heart began to race. This was getting dangerous now. Shawn Dunmore had never been an ordinary kid. Even as a teenager, his head was always in the clouds. While his friends all dreamed of being doctors or lawyers, Shawn knew early on that his destiny lay elsewhere. The sights and sounds of nature had always resonated with him, and he could never imagine a regular office life. After school, a chance encounter set him on his true path. Shawn's family were residents of Windham, New Hampshire. An idyllic, upmarket town, the family had a great life. Having a successful dentist for a mom and an architect for a dad had perks. Shawn's parents always ensured he and his younger siblings had a good life. On the weekend of Shawn's 18th birthday, his destiny changed during a family trip. The family getaway included a trip to the Isles of Shoals, a group of islands of the coasts of Maine and New Hampshire. The islands were famed for their lighthouses and seal diving activities. Smelling the fresh, salty air on the boat ride over made Shawn feel at peace. The moment he dived for the first time, he instantly knew this was his calling. Shawn's parents were big on a college education for their 3 kids, so it was tricky to navigate. When Shawn told them he wanted to be a diver, his parents initially thought he was just referring to a summer job. Before we continue, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. Now back to the video. When it became clear that it was his intended career, they weren't happy. But Shawn was determined, so he hatched a plan. Shawn had always been resourceful, and he knew how to make things happen for himself. After thorough research, Shawn created a business plan. He hoped to show his parents why becoming a scuba diver was a viable career choice. Happy with the initiative he had shown, Shawn remembered the anxious wait for his parents' verdict. Shawn's parents were ultimately impressed with his plan and supported him. Through professional diving classes, buying expensive equipment, and providing him with startup money, Dave and Lily Dunmore backed their oldest son all the way. Years later, after finally qualifying as a professional instructor, it was finally time for Shawn to branch out. He was finally ready to go his own way. Shawn's most significant accomplishment was to reward his parents' faith in him by paying them back in record time. Shawn started his own diving adventure business and became pretty successful at it. Shawn had done what most people long for, turning his greatest passion into a career. But even he did not know just how far it would take him. After a few years, Shawn was an established diving instructor. Shawn also ran diving adventure tours. His favorite spot for this was back where it all started, at the Isles of Shoals. The main island was known for being able to dive with seals and sea lions. Shawn thought he knew everything about these graceful creatures, but on this day, they surprised him. During a routine diving tour at the Isles, Shawn and his wards came across a large harem of seals. While seals usually stayed away from divers, one seal pup, in particular, behaved strangely. It wasn't afraid of Shawn and kept coming right up to him and nudging with its nose. Shawn had no idea what it wanted, but his instincts told him something wasn't normal. Shawn's advice was always to stay still when confronted by sea creatures. No sudden movements were the key. As the seal pup became more agitated as it nuzzled at Shawn's hands, he felt nervous. The rest of the harem were all nearby, including the larger adults. Shawn was afraid they might think he was a threat to the pup if she didn't stop soon. Before long, Shawn found himself surrounded by most of the harem. He was really nervous now and hoped his inexperienced clients wouldn't try to intervene. The way the pup kept nibbling his hand and turning over made him think of a dog. On instinct, when it turned again, he began rubbing its belly. To his surprise and relief, this was what the pup had wanted all along. Shawn had never encountered this particular harem of seals. The Atlantic greys were more docile and friendly than wild seals usually were. These were definitely a unique group. After rubbing the pup's belly, to Shawn's astonishment, more pups and even some adults began swimming up to him and nudging him too. There was only one thing to do. Motioning for his clients to follow suit, soon Shawn and his tour group were all minglings with the seals. This behavior was unusual but made for the most enjoyable dive Shawn had ever experienced. His clients had the time of their lives, and soon everyone was interacting like one big family. The seals behaved remarkably like puppy dogs, and there was no option but to provide belly rubs all around. Shawn later learned that some seals on the Isles were becoming more tolerant of humans. The increased tourists had adjusted the seals well, and they no longer saw their human friends as threats. When Shawn began his diving career, he knew he would do well, but never expected to become a viral sensation. However, after releasing his GoPro footage of the seals, this was precisely what happened. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.